Okay, guys, so we're going to jump right in this thing. As you can see, I got my boy Aftermath Rebels Pedigree pulled up here on bullypadx.com. If you're familiar with Bullypedia, you can use that as well. For me, I like to use BullyPedX because for me it's a lot easier to understand and break the pedigree down. So that's exactly what we're going to do today, guys. We're going to break down my boy Rebels Pedigree. Hopefully, you guys will get a better understanding of how to break down your dog's pedigree as well. All right, let's get right into it. So I'm going to zoom in here. As you can see, we got Granddaddy Purple and Sasha Fierce, which is Rebel's mother and father. I'm going to back out here so you can see the full pedigree again. Now, I'm going to start with the top half of the pedigree, which is Granddaddy Purple's side. And then I'm going to work my way down to the bottom half, which is Sasha Fierce's side. So the first thing that we notice right away from looking at the top half of the pedigree is that you got Gotti Lines Dax here at the top and the bottom of the top half of this pedigree. Now, I'm going to go ahead and click on Short Muscles Louis V, which is Granddaddy Purple's father, Rebel's grandfather. So we're going to start here. Now, if you notice right away, you see that Dax is Short Muscle Louis V's father. If you look at the bottom down here, Short Muscle's Athena is Louis V's mother. Now, one thing that jumps out right here for us is Gotti Lines Dax is also Athena's father. So, guys, that right there is our inbreeding. So, you got Dax bred to make Athena, right? And then Athena was bred back to Dax to make Louis V. So that's considered an inbreeding, guys. Now I'm going to take a step back here and we're going to go to the bottom half of Granddaddy Purple's pedigree. Stick with me, guys. I'm going to click on Milestone Lovey. Now, what's the first thing that jumps out again? We see Gotti Lines Dax. So Gotti Lines Dax is also Milestone Lovey's father. So if you look at Lovey's mother, Milestone's Putasusha, she's more so, I would say that breeding would be an outcross, guys. Dax to Putasusha would be considered an outcross to make Lovey. All right. So now we have inbreeding and we have an outcross. So I'm gonna go back to the beginning here, and then we're gonna break down the pedigree again right here. So now that we understand that we have Louis V, who is off of Dax, bred to Athena, who is also Dax's daughter. So that makes our inbreeding. And then we have Lovey, who's off of Dax, bred to Putasusha, who's going to be considered our outcross. Now, if you look close at the breeding between Louis V and Lovey, the breeding that made Granddaddy Purple, you can see that Louis V is obviously a Dax son, and then Lovey is obviously a Dax daughter. So that breeding, guys, was a line breeding. You're taking a Dax bred son to a Dax bred daughter to make Granddaddy Purple, right? So now we already have an inbreeding, we have an outcross, and now we have a line breeding, guys. So this is how we break the pedigree down. We go in, we look at the father, we look at his father, his mother, their mother, and you break it down one by one. So now we're going to move back here. We're going to go to down to the bottom half of Rebel's pedigree. And we're going to key in on Sasha Fierce, which is Rebel's mother, or his dam. So I'm going to zoom in here, and we're going to take a look at Heat Wave and Sacktown Bullies Chiquita, which is Sasha Fierce's mother and father. Now, again, we're going to start from the top. I'm going to click on Heat Wave and bring his pedigree up. Now, right away, guys, and bringing his pedigree up, the first thing that we notice is we got Dax in the pedigree again, right? So, Heat Wave's father, Heatstroke, is a Gotti Line's Dax son. So that makes Heat Wave Dax's grandson, right? Okay. So we're going to go down to the bottom half here. Now, guys, this is where things get a little interesting. You see Bustin' Out Freak Show. This dog here, Annie, which is Heat Wave's mother, is a Bustin' Out Freak Show's daughter. So we got a Freak Show daughter bred to Dax's son to make Heat Wave, okay? All right, we're going to go back here. We're going to take a step back, guys, right? And now we're going to break down the bottom half here with Sacktown Bullies Chiquita. I'm going to click on her picture, right? So I'm going to click here, and it's going to bring up, what do we see again? Another thing that jumps out, guys, is we see Dax again, right? So now this time Dax is going to be a few generations back. He's Chiquita's great-grandfather, but he's still present in the pedigree. Now, if you look down again at the bottom half here, we got Bustin' Out Freak Show again. So the bottom half, the Sasha Fierce half of the pedigree, you're seeing Dax on the top and Freak Show on the bottom. Because here we have, once again, we got Freak Show daughter bred to a Dax line male, right? And then if I go back, if we rewind and go back up to the top to Heat Wave's pedigree, you'll see we got a Dax bred male bred to a Freak Show bred female. Now, this I guess would be considered, I guess you can say it's an outcross as well, but it's more so setting up a line breeding, right? Because if you look back, you got the Dax bred male bred to the Freak Show daughter, and then it's done again and combined. So I would say they're more so doing a outcross and then line breeding that together, right? So that's how you break the pedigree down from top to bottom, guys. Now, another thing I like about Bully Ped-X is for you guys that are familiar with Clique O, Granddaddy Purple is actually Clique O's littermate brother. So we're going to click on this here, and I'm going to click on View Siblings, right? A list of the siblings will come up. I'll scroll down until I get to ABB Clique O. So I'm going to click on his picture, and as you can see, Short Muscles Louis V, bred to Milestones Lovey, Clique O, right? So some real good blood here, guys. Another thing I like about the pedigree, man, I actually love about the pedigree. We're going to go back to Rebel here. You can really see the traits of the dogs by looking at the pedigree. I know just having the papers, you're just really looking at words and names. And if you're not familiar with the names, it's just really just a foreign language, really. So that's another thing I like about doing or looking at an online pedigree. So I'm going to zoom in here. Rebel, you can see some of his features that I feel like pass through. If you look, he got beautiful eyes, really beautiful eyes. If you look at his sire, I'm going to click on Granddaddy Purple here. You can see, oh wow, I clicked too fast. Let me go back. Okay, so click on Granddaddy Purple here. You can see he's got really beautiful eyes, right? And then if I scroll down to his father, which is Louis V, he's got beautiful eyes, right? And then if I look at his father, which is Dax, he's got beautiful eyes, man. And then Athena's got beautiful eyes. So that's one of the things that passes through that I love about looking at the pedigree. And then as well, like you can see, Rebel's got a real blocky big head. And you can really see that throughout the pedigree as well. Like I said, if I click on Granddaddy Purple, you can see he's got a blocky head as well. You can see Louis V, Dax, Athena, they all got that big blocky head, man. That's something that I really like about the Louis V blood, is the beauty in the dogs and the blocky head as well. And you can go down to the bottom of the pedigree too. If you see Heat Wave, which is Dak's grandson, he got a pumpkin head. I mean, that boy is ridiculous, guys. Yeah. And another thing too that I noticed from the pedigree is the tight feet. I'm gonna bring up a side by side of Granddaddy Purple, Rebel's father, and Queen City Bully's Mercy, which is actually Rebel's granddaughter. So, like I said, guys, the traits are passing through. You can really, really, really see the consistency with how the pedigree was lined up, as far as the inbreeding, the line breeding, the outcrosses. The breedings were done, I would say, in a correct way in order to maintain the look, but at the same time not breed too crazy tight, to where you start getting unwanted things, defects, or just unwanted traits out of the dogs. You can see through the pedigree that there's really a nice amount of consistency and beautiful dogs, man. So I hope that this video was beneficial to you guys as far as getting a better understanding of how to break a pedigree down and understand it, man. I'll look and see if I have any other pedigrees on my dogs that'll be something that I can go through for you guys and be easy for you to understand. But until next time, guys, I'm Queen City Bullies Aaron. I'm out.